r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What were the dumbest lies you believed when you were a kid? When I was a child, I got upset after a button came off of my shirt. My mother told me not to worry and that if I placed the button under a rock in the yard, the button fairy would replace it with a quarter. I believed it, and to my mother's dismay, she discovered I had pulled the buttons off of every shirt in my closet. To this day, 40 years later, shirt buttons can still be found under random rocks in my parents' backyard. I was 7 years old. One of my teachers wanted us to write a letter to a family member or friend or someone. I wrote the letter. Got the envelope. Got the stamp. My mom had worked at the county jail at the time and she suggested I write one of the inmates who never got mail. So I did. I wrote something along the lines of "I'm sorry you're arrested but I hope you get out." I even signed it with my 7-year-old signature. While I was writing the letter, my mom had left to get to the store. I asked my older brother what our address was because I needed to put a return address. He said 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. 20500. For those that don't know, that's the address to the White House. I wrote it on the letter and put it with the mail my mom was sending out. Mind you, I grew up in Michigan and never left the state, but I wasn't smart. Years later I went to pick my mom up from work and one of the COs called me Mr. President and I asked why he said that. He mentioned the letter I wrote years prior and how it was a joke in the jail anytime my mom mentioned me. My parents convinced us that the person knocking on our door on weekend nights when we were asleep was our Uncle Shiloh stopping to say hello. We don't have an Uncle Shiloh. It was the pizza guy. When I was a kid, my dad told me it cost 25 cents to change the radio station to keep me from messing with the radio in his car. I believed that until I was 14. Eating too much sugar will glue my ass cheeks together. Thanks, Mom. One time when I was 5 or 6 I asked my brother how French fries were made and he told me. They inject mashed potatoes into the skins of the fries with a syringe. I believed that until I saw my mom cooking home fries for breakfast one morning when I was 8. The button on your armrest on airplanes is the eject button. I found out it reclines your seat embarrassingly late. That the draining sound of the water in the bathtub was a monster that would suck you in as well. A lie made to get me out of the bath. I stuck my finger down the plug hole thinking the swirling vortex it made would spin me around like some miniature tornado. Yeah, the fireman who cut me out of the bath didn't laugh either. My older brother pranked me once. I had watched a kids TV show, I think it was The Electric Company, that featured a guest star who was a tap dancer. My brother convinced me that tap dancers made their tapping sounds, not with their feet, but with their mouths. I spent the next several weeks trying to tap dance with my mouth noises before my mom made me quit. The rumble strips on the side of the road are there to help people who are blind drive. My dad told me that the reason why police officers spend so much time at donut shops is because the shop owners actually need them there to shoot the holes in the pastries to provide them with the classic donut shape. I found out this was a lie when my dad caught me trying to get behind the counter at Dunkin' Donuts one time because I wanted to see the shooting. My dad told me he didn't have a middle name because his parents couldn't afford one. I believed this for a shockingly long time. I had no reason to doubt him and I knew his family was poor. If you swallowed the black watermelon seeds, a watermelon would grow in your belly. If you swallow gum, it would take 7 years for it to come out. As a kid I had a strangulated hernia, which left me with one testicle. My dad told me if I ever had kids they would be all boys or all girls cause each testicle is for each sex. Believed it for years. When I was a little fellow my parents used to told me when you smoke you'll die instantaneously. Unfortunately they forgot this at a campfire organized by our former neighborhood and smoked a cig. I remember I was desperately trying to stop them and cried all the time, because I thought they are both about to die. I could not understand how all the death scenes in war movies seemed so realistic. So, I asked one of my older brothers how they did it. He proceeded to tell me that they empty out state prisons in the area the movie is being made, dress them up and give them guns and tell them that if they survive the filming then they get to leave jail after. I was told that at around 7 and I believed it till I was around 10. I have 3 that were really dumb. My older brother told me that if you put your Pokemon cards in the microwave then they become real. I started a fire doing this and ruined cards that would now be worth a lot of money. My older brother told me that aliens lived in my shoes. I had the ones that would glow up when you walked. I got scared and never wore them again. My older brother told me that if I wrote down a wish on a kite and flew it up high enough, the ink on the kite would disappear and my wish would come true. I spent hours trying to make this happen. I kind of still believe it. My nana used to tell me not to wipe off the dog's kisses because they would see it and get sad. I still have to turn my head to wipe my face so the dog doesn't see it. Lost my stuffed animal, a white dog, in the airport in Miami when I was 5. It was my favorite and I was really sad about it. A few weeks later my mom presented me with a brown dog that otherwise looked exactly like the white one I'd lost. She said the workers at the airport had found it and mailed it to us, but he got a tan because he was in Florida. Bought it hook, line and sinker for a few years. Tan dog is now my son's and he's a big fan. You won't get in trouble if you tell the truth. Bullshit. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening.